All right, good day, hi, and welcome. Are old cameras, digital cameras, any good? Are they still any good? Are they even worth it? Well, here's the problem you're going to have with digital. First off, you're going to spend a lot of money on a new camera. You're going to spend a ton of money on a new camera, even if it's like a prosumer type camera like this, or an SLR, or even an older one. You're going to spend money. This one, you're going to not spend so much money because it's an old film camera. Probably not going to spend very much money on the camera, unless it's a prestige condition, antique, and you're buying it from a guy who's trying to make a lot of money, saying, oh well, this was the model that there was a limited run of only 50,000 of these things, so yeah, and it's all there, and okay, here, $1,200, and be like, no, I'll give you $50 for it. Okay, $60, 55, deal. I got it for free, but you get the idea. You'll probably find some people might even give you these cameras for free. You might find them at a garage sale or whatever. So hunt around, but then you're going to spend a lot of money on the film to run it. Meaning, a roll of film might be $5 or $6 or $12 or whatever. If you get the pure stuff, it could be $30 a roll. Whatever, and then plus development. If you're into that type of thing, so you got the camera for cheap, but you're going to pay more to run it. Now, camera like this, you're going to pay a lot to get, but it costs you almost nothing to run, meaning you can take a gazillion. I've probably took over 250,000 photos literally with this exact camera, and probably more than half of them with this lens. I have a few other, well, right now I have one more lens. I really, once I figured out what I wanted in a camera, then sometimes less is more, so I carry two lenses, 18 to 70 mil. Covers everything. Not the sharpest lens on the planet, but sharp enough, and 70 to 300 with a macro feature. Two lenses, very easy for the type of photography I do. And then you got something like this, which, yeah, it's still a couple of $100, but 16 megapixel. This camera is like a super camera in comparison to those for resolution. And plus it takes video and does all those other things. Not a perfect camera. There's a few things the lens is noisy on that because the autofocus is always moving in your videos and stuff. So I don't like that about it. But other than that, it's great. It has good sound. It'll do everything you need to do. But the problem is when you want to go to upgrade, this is where the problem comes in. On a classic camera, if somebody's really a camera collector, they might pay you good money for something like that. This camera, again, back in the day, I got the camera on sale. It was a $2,500 camera body back in 2003. That was the super camera of its day. Now people say, you paid how much for that thing? Well, this camera does, almost 3 times as much resolution on there, that type of thing. But the thing is that at the time, that was the best. The Kodak, I think F1 was something like $12,000, and that was 1.5 megapixels. Yeah, that was one of the first digital cameras, and it's probably still a good camera for what it is. But the problem is you're not, no way, unless somebody's buying it as a camera collector, you're just not going to get very much money for it. I've seen these things shamefully be depreciated down to about 17 to 20 bucks, like for just the camera body. Now, I don't know if that's working or not. Now, mind you, with these cameras is they were built very well. There's no reason to get rid of them. It's like, well, I'm not doing photography anymore. But you're going to get so little to sell it off. Like at one point, it was like, okay, well, the D300 came out, and these things went down to about, used $600 a pop for just the camera body. And it was like, okay, well, that's too much of a loss. Now they're like, they won't even take them in a camera shop most of the time, because it's like, well, we can't get anything for it unless you pretty much give it to us. So hunt around. You might get, for me, I would never sell the thing, because I know how good it actually still is. But it's just that you could, once you pay over, like, say, $200 or whatever for a camera like that, there's so many cameras, SLR or semi-SLR cameras, that are better than it for, $200. You can get better for cheaper. So the problem with digital photography is the cameras lose value. The lenses, however, I've had tens of people, the first time I tried to sell it, I had tons of people wanting the lenses, and I wouldn't separate the camera from the lenses. So you might make money on the lenses, but you're going to take a loss. So buy a camera. If you're going to buy a camera that you're going to stick with for a long time. This is a great camera. I have no plans to replace it anytime soon. This little camera is also very good too, and Yeah, we'll do more on these little cameras.